to you, Ma'am. I am Joyce Verano Silungan, and my topic is Article 320 of the Revised Penal Code, Destructive Arson. Article 320, Destructive Arson. The penalty of reclusion temporal in its maximum period to death shall be imposed upon any person who shall burn. Number 1. One or more buildings or edifices consequent to one single act of burning, or as result of simultaneous burnings or committed on several or different occasions. Number 2. Any train or locomotive, ship or vessel, airship or airplane devoted to transportation or convenience, or public use, entertainment, or leisure. Number 3. Any building, factory, warehouse, installation, and any appurtenances thereto, where are devoted to the service of public utilities. Number 4. Any building, the burning of which is for the purpose of concealing or destroying evidence of another violation of law, or for the purpose of concealing bankruptcy or defrauding creditors, or to collect from insurance. The penalty of reclusion temporal in its maximum period to death shall also be imposed upon any person who shall burn. A. Any arsenal, shipyard, storehouse, or military powder or fireworks factory, ordnance storehouse, archives, or general museum of the government. And B. In an inhabited place, any storehouse or factory of inflammable or explosive materials.
Amending the law on arson in Presidential Decree 1613. Section 1. Arson. Any person who burns or set fire to the property of another shall be punished by person mayor. The same penalty shall be imposed when a person set fire to his own property under circumstances which expose to danger the life or property of another. Section 2. Destructive arson. The penalty of reclusion temporal is maximum period to reclusion perpetua shall be imposed if the property burned. Section 3. Other cases of arson. The penalty of reclusion temporal to reclusion perpetua shall be imposed if the property burned. Section 4. Special aggravating circumstances. The penalty in any case of arson shall be imposed in its maximum period. Section 5. Where death results from arson. If by reason of or on the occasion of the arson death result, the penalty of reclusion perpetua to death shall be imposed. Section 6. Prima facie evidence of arson. Any of the following circumstances shall constitute prima facie evidence of arson if the fire started simultaneously in more than one part of the building or establishment, if substantial amount of flammable substances or material are stored within the building not necessary in the business of the offender nor for the household, as if gasoline, kerosene, petroleum, or other flammable or combustible substances or materials soaked therewith or container thereof, or any mechanical, electrical, chemical, or electronic contrivance designed to start a fire, or ashes or trace of any of the foregoing are found in the ruins or premises of the burned building or property. Section 7. Conspiracy to commit arson. Conspiracy to commit arson shall be punished by prison mayor in its minimum period. Section 8. Confiscation of object of arson. The building which is the object of arson, including the land on which it is situated, shall be confiscated and escheated to the state unless the owner thereof can prove that he has no participation in nor knowledge of such arson despite the exercise of due diligence on his part. Section 9. Repailing clause. The probation of Article 320 to 326b of the Revised Penal Code and all laws, executive order, rules, and regulation or part thereof inconsistent with the provision of the decree are hereby repealed or amended accordingly. Section 10. Effectivity. This decree shall take effect immediately upon publication thereof at least one in the newspaper of general circulation done in the city of Manila this 7th day of March in the year of our Lord
Good
1979.
day, everybody. I'll be the one who will discuss about Article 327. Who are liable for malicious mischief? Sino nga ba ang dapat managot? But before of that, let me introduce myself first. My name is Pauline Patrice T. Saragosa. Later on, I'll give you an example or scenario about this article. But first, alamin muna natin kung ano ang ibig sabihin nito. Any person shall be liberty cause to the property of another any damage not falling within the terms of the next preceding chapters shall be guilty of malicious mischief. Ang ibig sabihin nito, kapag ang isang tao ay sinadyang manira ng isang pag-aari ng iba at ang paninirang ito hindi arson o pagsunog ng isang property, maaari siyang kasuhan ng malicious mischief. At narito ang isang halimbawa. Si Joyce ang may pinapaupa ang isang condominium unit sa isang pangunahing lungsod ng Mati. May umupa ng kanyang unit na isang empleyado ng isang kumpanya. Nagbayad na ito ng upa ng isang taon. Kaya sa ika-6 na buwan, napag-isipang ni Joyce na kanya itong bisitahin at kumustahin. Nakigulat ni Joyce nang papasukin siya ng kanyang tenant sa unit. Nakita niyang laslas na ang kanyang leather sofa, maraming nakasulat sa dingding, at butas na ang pintuan ng kwarto. Nalasing kasi ang mga bisita ng kanyang tenant, kaya nagkaganon. Kahit napag-isipan ni Joyce ang pagbayarin na lamang ito ng danyos at pagpapaayos ng gamit ng kanyang unit. Ngunit tumanggi daw ito dahil sabi itong aksidente lamang ang nangyari. Napag-alaman din ni Joyce na may inuupahan din ito sa katabi ng kanyang unit. Ano kaya ang maaaring gawin ni Joyce upang hindi na ito mangyari? Maaaring kasuhan ni Joyce ng malicious mischief ang kanyang tenant at kapag napatunayang sinadya ang pangyayaring ito, maaari niya itong singilin ng danyos at pagpapaayos ng gamit sa kanyang unit. Maraming salamat. That's all. I hope you learn. And till next time.
In crimes against property, the revised penal code provides those persons who are exempt from any criminal liability. However, they are not entirely without any liability because the victim may still file any civil liability to recover the damages it may have from the commission of such crimes. What are the crimes wherein some persons may be exempt from any criminal liability despite its commission? First, we have theft. Second, we have swindling or estafa. Third, we have malicious mischief. Who are those persons which exempt from any criminal liability of the above mentioned crimes? First, we have spouses. Second, we have ascendants and descendants. The third one, we have relatives by affinity in the same line. Fourth, we have widowed spouses, brothers and sisters, brothers-in-laws and brothers-in-laws and sisters-in-laws.